Today we are going to learn how to hold your yarn, how to hold your hook, and how to chain stitch. Let's get going. So let's talk about yarn. The yarn label that came wrapped around the yarn, it tells me that my yarn is 100% acrylic. It is machine washable and I can hand wash it. Some other washing instructions, and then here it says knit to DK patterns. DK means double knit. Now I know we're doing crochet, but we're using the same yarn as knitters would use. And here we have some cross knitting needles. Again, the knitting needles are the same size as crochet hooks. So if I bring that in a bit closer, you can see those knitting needles. It says US 4 to 6. And that means we're going to use a crochet hook size 4 to 6. So how do we hold our yarn? The end piece here we call the tail. We don't need to worry about the tail, but if we didn't have a tail, then all of our crochet work would unravel. So we take the tail and with an open hand, we wrap the yarn around our little finger, so going over the inside, around your little finger, pull it as you need to, go up to your index finger and wrap around your index finger. That way then you have some tension. Using your index finger you can slack the tension or you can increase the tension if you find things are too slack without having to move all of your yarn. So let me just show you that again. So you take the tail, you wrap it around your little finger, over the inside of all your fingers, around your index finger, and you're ready to go. There are different ways of holding yarn. Some people like to weave it in and out of each finger. Some people like to wrap it several times around their finger. As long as you're able to actually move the yarn and it's not sticking, which I find it does when I wrap it around twice, around once, it seems to flow quite smoothly. And that's how we hold our yarn. Round your little finger, round your index finger, and we're good to go. Now we come to our crochet hooks. Now you have different sizes of crochet hook. This crochet hook here is an 8mm. It's quite a large one. The larger the number, the larger the hook. You can get them going up to sort of 20 and 30mm if you're wanting to do some of those really big chunky yarn blankets. This one here is a 4mm hook. And this one here is a 2mm hook. Now your hook should tell you what size it is somewhere on the hook. Sometimes they're written on the handle. For example, this one is here. On the 8mm hook, it's on this little indent here, which is where your thumb would go. Also, you can get hooks which are plain, like this one. This is just a plain aluminium one that's different coloured. And you can get them with softer, this is a flexi grip handle. It's slightly longer than some of the other crochet hooks, only slightly, and it fits nicely in your hand. I started off with one of these hooks. You can also get some lovely ones which have some polymer clay handles on them, and they're really nice to use and they look very pretty as well. So we're going to be using a 4mm hook. So you know which hook you're going to use, you know how to hold your yarn. Now we're going to look at how to hold your crochet hook. Now there are two main ways of holding crochet hooks. The first one is the spoon method. So if you were eating a bowl of cereal, you would crochet this way. The second method, and the one that I prefer to use, is the knife method. So I wrap my fingers around it, I'm controlling it with my pointy finger, and my thumb is resting on the nice part there. It needs to be comfortable enough for you to move your hook around and to roll it between your fingers. I prefer to roll between my fingers rather than to move my wrist more, but it all depends which one's more comfortable for you. There is no right and no wrong way to hold your hook as long as it works. We need to start our slip knot. Now the slip knot is the very first knot you need. That will stop all of your other stitches unraveling. So to do this, I wrap it around my index finger. When they cross, I pinch them together and take it off my finger. I then take this tail around the back of the circle. I use my crochet hook and I go into the circle, under the tail and back out of the circle, so in a weave. I then grab the yarn I'm working with and the tail and I pull, and then I have my slip knot. I'll show you that one again. So around my index finger, pinch them at the top, pull that down so it's underneath the circle. Take my crochet hook into the circle, weave under the tail and back out of the circle, grab my tail and my yarn and I pull. If you've made your slip knot too tight to your hook, you can loosen it by pulling the yarn that's attached to the ball. If you've made it too big and you want to make it smaller, you can pull the tail and that will make your slip knot smaller. You want to make sure that you can actually move the yarn up and down your hook many times as you need to. I'm going to wrap my fingers with the yarn. I'm going to hold the tail piece, that will keep my work steady, and as I move through my crocheted work I will keep holding on to the worked piece of crochet to make sure that everything is in control. So I'm now going to take my hook and I'm going to hook it underneath the yarn. In crochet patterns they call it yarn over. So I'm going to hook it underneath the yarn, so the yarn is over. So I'm hooking underneath and I'm twisting my crochet hook so that I can catch the yarn with the hook, and I just gently pull it through, and there is our first chain. So again, yarn over, hook it round and pull it through, under the yarn to yarn over, twist and pull it through, and move my fingers up the chains so I can keep better control. Yarn over, twist my hook, pull it through, yarn over, twist my hook and pull it through, yarn over, twist my hook, pull it through, yarn over, twist my hook, oops, pull it through. If you find you've caught something or you've made a mistake, so I think this one here is not as tidy as the others, I'm just going to take my hook out and I'm going to pull 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put my hook back in there, tighten it up a little bit, wrap my fingers around the yarn and just carry on. So if you make a mistake, it's actually quite forgiving just to undo the mistake. Although I have to say sometimes I just carry on regardless and it usually works out well in the end. So there we are. Here is our row of crocheted stitches, and this is chain stitch. Now you can make quite a few things with chain stitch. You can make it into a bracelet, you can make it into necklaces, you could make a glasses holder for your chain around your neck to hold your glasses. If you're anything like me, they're usually on the top of your head. But this is the basic stitch that you need for pretty much every piece of flat crocheted work. Obviously there's other types of crochet where you're crocheting in a round, or if you're crocheting squares, sometimes you don't use this kind of stitch, but this is the basics for most stitches. Okay, I hope you found this tutorial useful. If you have, hit the like button so that I know that you're enjoying our video so far. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and look out for our next video where I will be showing you how to double crochet. Thanks very much for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you again soon, and happy hooking!